Better subscribe, bitches.
You'll suck until rain. You'll suck until rain. Through the dust and setting sun. There were many good souls on that lonely fob, but none like the white lass.
This is the Objective Jerk, and I'm said jerk. I do not need my headphones, I don't think. Yeah. So, what is going on? So, this is my podcast, which was my, just BSing, whatever. No real topic, just, opening my heart out to people. I've been making videos that are like scripted, edited heavily. So this is kind of more back to my podcast. I am recording it. I'm just going to talk and read some headlines and see if that kind of gets anything going. Whatever, I'm going to see. I've been having problems recording video on my webcam with my computer. I think I might have fixed it, but man, it was just no matter how I recorded it, what program I used, QuickTime, it didn't matter, but it was just very laggy, and I'm trying to fix that. But I did learn that I can actually upgrade my RAM for my Mac, because my Mac is old enough. I haven't checked it physically yet, but it says, up to like 2020 or 2019 or something like that, you can open up and add some RAM chips to, there's like 4 slots, so my computer will run a little faster, a little smoother. I haven't put eyes on with my computer, but information dictates that I can. So I'm going to look to do that, and hopefully that helps a little bit, because I've been thinking about getting a new Mac, but I'm just like, man. And the new ones, you can't upgrade the RAM. So if I upgrade the RAM and my Mac is doing great, then cool, man. I don't need to buy a new one. I probably just need to get like an external hard drive, maybe, because with all my podcasts, I'm deleting a lot of stuff, and then stuff is in the cloud, and I don't really like my shit in the cloud. I'm kind of weird. I know it's like basically with phones and everything, it doesn't matter. You can't fight it unless you completely disconnect. But if you're gonna use a smartphone, even for a phone, you're screwed. So I am now recording this on CapCut. So if you're watching this is CapCut. And then I will actually edit all the dead ums and me drinking coffee, because before I didn't care, but then I started editing it, and then I would listen to it, and I'm like, man, it sounds much better when when it's edited a little bit, just cleaned up, So that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna add little clips or little videos. And that's the thing with CapCut, though, is I can play videos, but you're not gonna hear the audio from those. So maybe I'll play some stuff if it's more visually, but as far as, the podcast side, you're not gonna hear it. So it seems kind of moot. So that's why I'm trying this new thing I'm trying. So I'm just going to kind of talk about whatever. Oh, the one thing. So I am kind of looking to getting into RC. I guess it's pretty popular, pretty big. I mean, I know RC cars, and I know people have gas ones, and I've known all about it, but I don't know. I just never, I liked it as a kid. I remember my dad had bought a Wild Willie, which was like a gas and that thing was fast, and it was badass. It was more my brother's than mine, I guess, but we had that. I never liked the gun style, where you just pull the trigger and you turn the wheel, but I guess that's the best way. But to me, it was just weird. And I had a few RCs growing up, and then I've bought my children some RCs, but they're all like kids kind of RC, whatever, they are what they are. But the other day, well, it's been like a week or so now, my wife had some family, which they, because I'm married to my wife, they are my nieces. So these two women that came to visit from the States, Filipinos that, so they went to my tattoo guy who does my tattoos, and they wanted to get some tattoos. So they were getting the tattoos, right? So I was hanging out with them a little bit, and then I went next door to get a coffee. This guy has a little eatery where you can order food and coffee, and there was boxes of RC vehicles, and I was just like, oh, that's cool, I was like, do they sell them? And I was just asking questions, and it was just the poor girl that worked there. She had no idea. She's like, well, but the owner knows. And then so I met with him later, and he was showing me stuff on his phone, and they have like tracks here they probably do have for racing, but he was showing me more rock crawling type races. And they got like tracks built, bridges, spiral going up like a Ewok tree, whatever, and you gotta, get through this as quick as you can. But it's a race, but you're not going fast, you're rock crawling. and they had like vendors, and it was just like, man, it was like this huge thing. And I was like, man, I didn't know they did that here. And my wife, what's funny is like stuff around here, I'm always a little behind. So my wife had been talking about it before, and she had mentioned it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's not that I think it's dumb, or I don't know if that's something, that I want to do. Is anybody out there listening? You guys into RC? So I've been watching some YouTube and some various things and trying to get educated on it. And it looks kind of fun. Like I thought only the gas ones you could work on and replace stuff and like be a mechanic. But these adult RCs, and they're not cheap, but they're not too bad. But you can, upgrade, axles and gears and transmissions and shocks and tires and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. Looking to maybe get another damn hobby. I got how many hobbies? Let's see. Play the drums, try to play the bass. I got good rhythm, but I'm not a good bass player. I can play, but I'm not good. I draw sometimes, but not really. I have my podcast, my little YouTube channel. I want to get into forging and stuff, which I don't do, but I want to. I don't know. I weld, make some. I don't know. I do a bunch of little things, So pretty much all of my hobby. Oh, mountain biking. Almost forgot. Pretty much all of my hobbies, just myself, isolated hobbies. You know what I mean? Things I can do alone. I go riding with my son, or sometimes a friend or two, whatever. But that's about it. I don't do anything that involves a lot of people. Like my wife is very into pickleball right now, and so are my kids, and they play, and I've played a couple times, and I have fun playing. I like to play pickleball, but I don't like all the people. If we had a court and we were playing pickleball, I'd probably play a lot, but I don't like all the people, and I have this thing with like crowds. Sometimes I'm okay with it, but most of the time I'm not. So that's why all my hobbies are all just, isolated by myself hobbies. So this RC thing, which you can kind of do, kind of like mountain biking, I guess, I can do by myself, but they also have these little, tracks where I can. And the guy I met, this guy named RJ, who actually has, I guess he sells some, and he has one that's pretty good. I looked it up. I might buy it from him. I think it might be slightly used just to get started, because I was looking at stuff I wanted to do, and like this old style, you know, Jeep kind of 40s truck thing, but it's like a little more, it's like $600. And my wife is like, she wants me to, do it because it can go to these little races, and there's people, but it's not massive. So it might be better for me. There's people there for me to interact with, but not crowds. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at as far as that kind of crap goes. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me. Like I said, I've been doing videos where I used to do my podcast was I would sit there and bullshit about what's going on with myself, and then I would talk about my topic. But I think a lot of people would start watching, like, what the hell is this? Whatever, and they just wouldn't watch it. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to have the videos where I just go right to the subject. I'm not talking about myself. So that's what the YouTube channel is. And then I still want to have my podcast to kind of just talk and bullshit about whatever. And that's what this is. So but I am recording visually, so I record it, edit it, and then I can upload it to Buzzsprout, and it'll take the audio, and then I got my podcast. And if I want to post it, I might have to do a separate my podcast channel maybe, or something, because you have I don't know. So anyway, so I'm just kind of playing around with some stuff and what it is. So any input is appreciated. So that's enough about me. I want to talk about a while back. There was I forget what it's called, but the little dinner with the president and politicians and the press. It's for the press. Can't remember what it is, but the guy came in with the gun, if you guys remember, and so they basically canceled it. Well, they made it up, and they had it the other night, and Trump did his little shtick, and he talked about, he was poking fun at what's her name, CNN, Caitlin Collins, and he was talking about how he was proud that, or he was happy for her for getting the Bud Light deal, but then, or something, basically saying that she looks like Dylan Mulvaney, which is a man dressing up as a woman, a trans. So he made that little joke, said that, and then he posted an AI image of Dylan Mulvaney in like a dress doing it was like when she was sponsoring, advertising for Bud Light. On the image, you have to see. Well, I guess I could probably try and pick it up, so maybe for the video. But it was pretty funny. I thought it was funny. People are like upset about it, like the liberal side are like, oh my gosh, Trump is such an asshole. And it's like, well, how is he an asshole, really? Because I can't talk and chew gum, but Democrats for years have been saying how, trans men or trans women who were men, if they're, if they're actually women in men's bodies and they are women, and if you don't date them, then you're transphobic and all this kind of crap, and they're so pretty. Oh my gosh, they're so brave and all this crap. So then if Trump is comparing an actual biological woman to a biological man who's a trans woman, or I don't know how, I can't remember which way it goes. But if they believe all the crap they've been spewing, then why is it offensive? So that just tells you that it's all bullshit. I find it funny. Plus this, I don't know. It's not like Trump sits there and thinks about these memes. I'm pretty sure he's got a designated guy, keeps tabs on all the memes and, comes up with them and then runs them by Trump. And he's like, yeah, that's funny. Let's do that. And that's basically what it is. But people are like, oh my God, he's such an asshole. It's like, yeah, he is an asshole. The best leaders are assholes, you know? I've said it before. You can't be all like, compassion, love, and I don't know. It's just so stupid. I'm trying to see. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. No, that's not it either. Damn it. Where the hell is it at? Let's try. Okay, I'll go to my YouTube channel. So here's the short. Okay, so it's nobody's gonna hear anything. I mean, does it even come through the headphones? Okay, it is, but it won't come up on video capture that CapCut does, which kind of sucks. But there it is right there. You can see for those watching. So that's the meme right there. That's funny. I don't know. I think it's funny because they do look a lot alike. So it's like, come on, shut up. But they just get so butthurt over stuff. It's almost ridiculous, Anyway, so there's that. Thought that was funny. All right, let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Victim Bronx heartbreak. Final minutes of ex NYPD cop's innocent 12-year-old son revealed along with possible motive to horrific shooting. What's going on? Tragic. Jacob something was struck by a stray bullet during the senseless shootout in a gang-infested area of the Bronx on Saturday. I mean, New York is infested, period. It's New York, right? New York, Chicago. It's not surprising. Not surprising. Usher boots fan off stage after her painfully awkward response to his seductive dance moves. What? I mean, he's getting old, dude. You're getting old, bro. Fan clapped back on social media, blasting those criticizing her nasty attitude. Well, what was he doing? It's probably, I don't know. The media's anti-Trump bias was on full display. Correspondence dinner, that's what it's called. Yeah, so the correspondence dinner. Let's see what else is going on. Soul caretaker pastor allegedly crashed at 104 while drunk, killing young daughter just months after. Oh, geez. Duck, duck, do. Duck, duck, go, baby. Yeah. Table, is this it? I think this is. I watched a video about this and I was just like, man, that is freaking heartbreaking. Okay, so it's talking about the duck boats. If you guys know, there's lots of tours that people drive on tours and they go in water and, because they're World War II vehicles. So they're now, you can see. But so basically, there was a storm coming. It was in Missouri, I think. Yeah. And the storm just kind of came out of nowhere on the massive lake, and it just created, waves and whatever. And the duck boat got, filled in with water, started sinking, capsized, whatever they call it. Oh, was it the Navy? Sorry. And the life vests were not ready. So, like, half of the people, the boat holds like 30 people or something, half of the people drowned. And of those people, it was a huge family that drowned. And it was just like, poor woman lost like an uncle, her two kids, and like, I don't know, man. It was just heartbreaking. Where's it at? Come on. Killing me. So I'm going to have to probably edit this crap out. That's why I keep talking a lot. So I don't have to edit it out. Okay, yeah. So, and it was just, the company should have, paid attention to the weather. And they definitely should have had the vest ready. They should have the vest like accessible and ready no matter what. If you're going on water and it's a clear, sunny day, get the vest ready, man. I'm sure they probably do it now, maybe. But I am looking for the damn. Okay. Let's see. I think it was Coleman. Let me see. Coleman family tragedy. Maybe this wasn't the same one. That was 2008. I think it is though. Coleman. Oh, I think her name is Tia. I just realized. Man, I remembered. Suck at remember name. Tia Coleman. Yep. Okay, cool. Dude, I remembered. Yeah, lost 9 relatives, dude. 9. Dude, that's heartbreaking. Okay, let's see. So let's just kind of, I'm going to read this for those that don't know about it, but I just think this is, man. So duck boat survivor recounts heartbreaking horror of family drowning. Quote, I got to get to my babies. End quote. Man, dude, that's just, I had my son right next to me, but when the water filled up the boat, I could no longer see. While fighting to save her own life, Tia Coleman, who lost 9 members of her family. 9, bro. Oh, and yeah, her husband, including her husband and 3 children. Dude, that's like, dude, that'd be if I lost my wife and my kids and my uncle. You know what I mean? Like, that's just devastating, dude. Man, that is rough. Um, so including her husband and 3 children after a duck boat capsized in Missouri on Thursday. But this happened in 2018. During a press conference on Saturday, Tia had been hospitalized since the tragedy. The survivor recounted what was going through her mind when water started filling up the boat. I've always loved water, although I kind of don't believe that because she's a black woman. Haha, joke. Anyway, I've always loved water. I don't know if it's a Pisces or what. I've always loved water. But when the water came on over the boat, I didn't know what happened. Tia recalled, according to CNN, I had my son right next to me, but when the water filled the boat, I could no longer see. I couldn't feel anybody. I couldn't see. I just remember I got to get out. I got to get out. After being plunged towards the bottom of Table Rock Lake, Tia struggled to reach the water surface. So the duck boats are like, they're closed in too. And they had like plastic whatever go down to keep water from spraying on people, and they had life vests, but they were like tucked in really tight up above. And as I was swimming up, I was praying, she explained. I said, Laura, please let me get to my babies. I gotta get to my babies. I gotta get to my babies. Dude. Thursday's account took the lives of 9 members of Tia's family, including her husband, Glenn Coleman, who was 40, her 3 children, Reese Coleman, 9, Evan Coleman, 7, and Aria Coleman, 1. Damn, dude. Out of the entire family on the duck boat, only Tia and her 13-year-old nephew survived. His mother, Angela, 45, and brother, Maxwell Coleman, 2, also died. Tia's other family members include Belinda, who is 69, Irvin, who is 76, and Horace, who is 70. Dude, that is tragic. During the press conference on Saturday, Tia spoke briefly about her late children. I don't know. I don't think I could do that. She described her eldest son, Reese, who was autistic, as being the happiest, sweetest boy you ever met. Tia also described Evan, her young son, as being extremely smart, quick-witted. Added her 1-year-old daughter had 1,000 personalities wrapped into one. During a phone conversation, Tia claimed that the captain of the duck boat had told us to, quote, don't worry about grabbing the life jackets. You won't need them. See, that's a mistake right there. It's like, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, hopefully now they learn, when you get on water, you have the jackets ready available. Before you get in water, everybody grab a jacket. Boom, boom, boom. Sit it by you, whatever. Put it on if you want to. In the water, right? And then when you get out, okay, you can put it back or, whatever. At the very least, they probably made it to where they have to wear them, I'm assuming, but I don't know. Anyway, so nobody grabbed the jackets because we listened to the captain as he told us the safety rules. She continued, adding that she believed a lot of people could have been spared if they had been properly prepared. Yeah. During the press conference, I'm sure they probably sued the hell out of, I don't know, I wonder how that went. Coleman doubled down on her claim. I felt like if I was able to get a life jacket, I could have saved my babies because they could have at least floated up to the top and somebody could have. Well, yeah, some people would have tragically died, but damn, not 9 of her members. But in total, what was it total though? I want to say it was like 17 or something like that. Okay, yeah, here we go. The 17 victims so 17. That is rough, man. That is tragic as hell. 2-year-old boy overdosed on cocaine while on Jersey Shore vacation. Wow. Let me see. Did he 2 years old? So he had to have thought it was sugar, put it in something. Had to have. No, let's see. Trump's border czar says vetting of ICE officer is under internal review after Maine shooting. See, they're checking stuff out. People act like it's like you can't just let millions upon millions of people just come over the border. And then when the people are trying to fix it, you're like, you're evil and this and that. It's like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your dumbass. Influencer screaming and crying on 9/11 call before a perv. Husband killed her. TikTok outed him as a pedophile. Ugh. Well, he's not going to last long in prison. No, sir. Elon drops wild 5-year prediction about AI and humanity. Well, yeah, it's about right. When did he say it the first time? It was about 5 years ago. He said it was 10 years. So looks like he's still, staying true to his word. Tony Romo withdrawals from public appearances after DUI. Man, don't drive. I mean, I can't say I never, when I was shit, I've never driven like shit face. I'm sure I've driven a couple times where I would have been legally drunk if I had gotten stopped, but I was pretty good at, letting other people drive if I had been drinking. Voter legalize weed. A message for the New York State dopes who voted to legalize weed. Told you so. Let's see. A message for New York. Oh, it's a video. Wait here. Here we are at the I told you so moment. That's what New York State Conservative Party Chairman Gerard Cassar told the Post last week in response to the new guide. Talking with young people about weed. Cassar couldn't be more right. Son of a bitch. Okay, there it goes. Let's see. Cassar couldn't be more right. State officials apparently have finally realized the negative consequences of their decision to legalize cannabis for recreational use. Yeah, see, dude, I partake. I used to when I was younger, and then I didn't for the longest time because, job wise and whatever. I still will if it's like available. I don't have a stash, and you know what I mean. But yeah, when people can just go buy it like beer, and then it's gonna get abused in some way or another. But I said it before. Like when I was living in Washington, um, I was still working for the government, so no partaking for me. But I just remember smelling it just all the time. Really strong, would be walking from the parking lot to Walmart, or we're in the Walmart parking lot, park our car, get out, walk in Walmart, also get punched in the face by that really pungent. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, thinking like, it's probably pretty good weed, but it's like my kids are all like, what is that? What this stinks? And it's just like, do that shit at home, man. If you want to eat a cookie, or I don't know, it's just people just kind of they just abuse it, just like everything else. But anyway, so let's see. Emergency room visits have skyrocketed as a pre- pediatric poisonings. Yeah, because of edibles and everything, that's kind of a problem. Hospital visits involving cannabis children. Yeah, rose more than 1,600%. Wow. But yeah, it's because edibles and stuff. Anyone who uses cannabis frequently over time is at risk for developing cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, the guide warns, which includes severe abdominal pain, persistent nausea, and repeated vomiting. I've never heard that. I mean, if you frequently use it, you get a little lazy and your memory kind of goes. Cannabis use disorder has been linked to higher rates of psychosis, suicidal ideation, panic attacks, and other mood disorders. Yeah, so I mean, smoking weed can be beneficial, but it doesn't affect everybody the same way. Just like with everything else, some people are allergic to ibuprofen. Most people aren't. Some people don't do well with alcohol. Some people don't do well with caffeine. You know, some people can take mushrooms and trip, and it doesn't affect them at all. Some can do it and it screws up their brain, you know what I mean? So it's just like, and it's the same thing with weed. It's not good for everybody. So anyway, let's see. Using weed has resulted in underperformance in school and behavior problems, not surprisingly. Yeah. In the immediate aftermath of legalization, New York, incidents involving illegal drugs, drug paraphernalia, alcohol, and unauthorized use or possession of controlled substance or prescription medications increased 17%. That's the thing, though, man. Like, I never smoke weed and drink alcohol at the same time because it would make me dizzy. I'd get sick and I would vomit. I get motion sickness easy. So it's like one or the other. I would honestly now, and when, in my life journey I'm currently at, whatever, I would prefer to smoke weed actually, and less meds from the army. And I don't really like drinking anymore. But anyway, let's see. Clinton High School in the Bronx has limited the kind of food students are allowed to bring because teens were smuggling TH edibles into their lunch and snacks. So that was kind of the biggest problem, though, was the edibles and all that stuff, man. They got to stop making it. They got to do something with it. I don't know. I don't know what, but how did we get here? How? It's worth understanding how warnings about these problems went unheeded. 2017, Andrew Cuomo resisted pressure to approve recreational marijuana. At the time, he said it's a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug for some people, but it's not for others. I smoked weed when I was younger. I tried mushrooms and I tried acid. That's it. I never tried coke or meth, whatever. I never tried any of that crap. So it can be a gateway. Yeah, depends on the individual. There are two sides to the argument, but as of this date, I am unconvinced on recreational marijuana. Like many, okay, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't know. It's getting long. I just think keep it to your home and maybe like a weed bar or something like that. No doing it in public. No going out. I don't know. Like it's tough though, man, with the edibles and everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they got to get rid of the edibles and just keep it to like a brownie that's green in color or something, so it's obvious that it's a weed brownie or something. I don't know, but yeah, they got to do something. But anyway, that's all. I just kind of wanted to bullshit a little bit and try out this CapCut screen thing and see how it goes. Anyway, appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out. God bless.
There were many brave souls on that lonely fob, but none fought like the white lie.